I just saw a lady, city of Greeley, with her siren on, her lights, and she was next to an RV, and I saw a green ticket on the windshield. Looked like some kind of warning ticket. And I'm gonna go over there and ask her what's going on. Yeah, there she is right there. Let's hope we get some good truth. Let's hope we get the truth out of the government, because these people are operating in fraud. Please forgive me, I'm a little excited, and I think this is a good opportunity to do some confrontation on the truth and the birth certificate. Lord, please help me to have a good... Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
I'm sorry.
You know, it's bad enough that, you know, our country makes us homeless with the policies of the fiat currency money system. It looks like she has this motorhome in Everybody, we really gotta start confronting our government and just asking them why they didn't teach us about the birth certificate and social security card. That's the main topic here and subject right now. So, really, police. Massive. From ground up parking enforcement. John Jay in 1793 said, sovereignty devolved on the people. At the revolution, sovereignty devolved on the people, and they are truly the sovereigns of the country, with no one to govern but themselves. And here we have our neighbor here governing her neighbor. So how did we go from governing ourselves to now we're governing our neighbor for a paycheck? You know, especially with this fiat currency money system that that funds this government. And you try to ask this lady a question here, and she probably won't have the answer, because like George Washington said, if we should happen to stumble again upon unfunded paper currency or any other species of fraud, it will enter the body of politics like spirit liquors enter the body, destroying the vitals. And the vitals being our liberty, and you know, this is a violation to our liberty. So in order to borrow this fiat currency, we need collateral. And what they did in 1933 is they started the birth certificate process, which created collateral, because now we can pay back the loans that we take out from the Federal Reserve and their fake money. That's actually the idols of Babylon. And we pledged our children to continue funding the debt of this country. And you know, you get into federal jurisdiction and state jurisdiction, but you know, we're all under federal jurisdiction because Greeley pays federal income tax, so they're held accountable to federal, which is under the control of the Federal Reserve. They pay taxes like a person. They're actually a person because corporations are persons. And some of us are deciding not to be a person, a face mask, because that's what person really means. It really means face mask. And so, you know, if you're a person in their legal system, which legal means the rules of a society, which only have the effect of law, in contract, because it's all commerce. So commerce needs a contract, and the contract is the birth certificate. And it's a fraud and deception because they say you get social insurance, but in reality they're taking your rights and property. So that's really the truth about the birth certificate and social security card. Is it's a scam because they diverted your attention with social insurance when they're really taking your rights and property. And Edward Mandell House, if you look that up, just type in Google Edward Mandell House quote, and you will see that social insurance is a fraud. He said every American will be a contributor to this fraud we will call social insurance. Hello. I don't know if you realize, but you're operating in fraud.
How's that?
Well, you guys are taking people's rights and property through the birth certificate, and you didn't. You work for the city, and
I work for the police department.
yeah, and you guys are operating in fraud because you guys are taking people's rights and property, and you didn't tell them that they had a choice,
Is this yours?
and they didn't, and
Is this yours?
you did not tell them that they had a
Is
choice.
this yours?
So you're committing fraud
Is this
because.
your motorhome?
You're committing fraud because you're supposed to tell people when people sign a contract like the birth certificate and social security card, and also when they're doing business as a resident, then you're supposed to tell them the details of the contract. And see how this lady, she won't answer my questions. She's resistant right now. It's because they're criminal. They're engaged in criminal activity. What they're trained and skilled in is diverting your attention from the real subject, which is their fraud. And you know, that's how they do it. That's how criminals do it. They divert your attention from what's really going on. Ma'am, you guys are committing fraud because you guys aren't supposed to be taking people's rights and property through the birth certificate.
All I'm doing is this.
I know.
Is this yours?
I know, but
Is
you
this
don't.
yours?
You don't have any.
Is this yours?
You don't have any lawful authority
Is
over
this-
anybody's property.
Is this yours?
You have no lawful
Is this
authority
yours?
over anybody's property.
You're not answering my question either. Is
See?
this your motorhome?
I'm the one
you
that
own this?
came to you, so I want my questions answered. Why didn't you explain to us the details of the birth certificate?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, this is what George Washington talked about. He said, fiat currency will enter the body of politics like spirit liquors enter the body. This lady does not understand the truth. She doesn't know what's really going on, and that's what George Washington meant when he said that fiat currency will enter the body of politics like spirit liquors enter the human body. So this is how our liberties and rights and property are being stolen, because everybody's drunk and they just want to earn a paycheck. Ma'am, so can you address the details of why you didn't tell us about the birth certificate and how we are voluntarily giving up our rights and property?
I have no idea. I have nothing to do with that. I work
Okay.
for the police department with the parking unit. So all I'm doing is coming over here
Yeah.
to get the ticket because you cannot be parked
Okay.
on the residential area.
Well, ma'am, I'm just telling you that you have unlawful authority and illegitimate authority. You don't have legitimate authority, because in order to have legitimate authority, you have to tell these people that they have a choice if they want to enter into your jurisdiction or not. And that's what the birth certificate is. And look, here we got another officer. And they're usually resistant
Well,
because, you know, they're all partaking in criminal activity. Watch. This guy's going to be tacked in the skill of diverting the questions that I have. Watch.
Hey guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. They're trained very well because this is, you know, owned by the bankers. They have these officers trained very well to divert attention off of truth, because the truth is that this whole system's voluntary. They're illegitimate because they did not tell people the details of the birth certificate and social security card, which enter us into commerce.
Yeah.
And they might know who I am. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are
What's
you?
your name?
I'm Officer Steinauer.
Hi. I was asking this lady, well, first of all, I was notifying her that she doesn't have lawful authority to do any business.
Okay. What involvement is this of yours?
Well, these are my neighbors here, and you guys didn't tell them the truth about the birth certificate. How come?
Okay, this is parking enforcement.
I know, but why didn't you tell them that they're voluntarily entering into your jurisdiction?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, see, the birth certificate and so... Well, to my understanding, Steinauer, is that the birth certificate and social security card are voluntary. And we're voluntarily entering into your jurisdiction, and you didn't tell us that.
What
You
does
guys
it have to do with parking enforcement of this mobile home?
Well, in order to have legitimate lawful authority over somebody or anybody's property, you have
This
to
is
tell
a
them.
mobile home.
You have to tell them the full details of all the contracts.
She's issuing them a abandoned vehicle warning.
Yeah. Well, actually, what you're doing is you're issuing a person or a face mask. You're not issuing the actual person the citation.
Okay. Were you obstructing this lady from doing her job? Were you physically obstructing?
Are you
her from doing her
obstructing?
job?
You're obstructing my liberty, sir, and you're obstructing these people's liberty. You know, John Jay in
That's a
1793.
really, like, it's quite a leap since she's tagging a vehicle abandoned.
Oh, well, this isn't my vehicle. I'm actually sticking up for my neighbor.
Okay.
And
You also can't physically obstruct us from doing our job.
So what about our liberty? How am I supposed to educate people on our liberty and how you guys are taking it away?
You're asking a question and you're making a statement.
Yeah. So how am I supposed to educate people that you guys don't have lawful authority?
Sounds like you're already doing it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing is you guys don't have lawful or legitimate authority over anybody. Because simply you guys, the birth certificate is a contract and you guys didn't give the people
Don't even.
full details of the contract. Why?
We're cool.
What is your name? I know. You guys are pretty powerful because you got fiat currency back in you.
You hang with him for
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You know, I'm just concerned, sir, because you guys didn't tell us that we were voluntarily giving up our rights and property through the birth certificate.
Hey.
Yeah. Does that concern you? Have you ever been confronted with that knowledge?
That's not my concern right now.
Yeah. Have
My
you
concern
ever...
is just coming for her safety.
Safety?
Yep.
Oh, really? So is the light jeopardizing her safety?
Is the light?
Yeah, I'm putting her on camera and you?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's what we're concerned about is the fact that you guys don't have legitimate authority over anybody.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, you know, I got the backing of the courts and the attorneys and I have a gun and a jail over here, so who are you? Are you thinking that? Is that what you're thinking? I got these pegged. I know exactly how these guys think. They don't want to answer any questions. I'm just notifying you that you have no lawful or legitimate authority.
Fine, but stay over there while we're conducting business here. Sir, you need to stay over there. You can film. When we need to talk to you, we'll talk to you. Right now, you're interfering with what we're doing.
So you're telling me what to do?
You were
I'm
required
telling
by
you.
law to keep a distance.
So is it?
Go over there and film.
Okay, can I
Not
need
here.
I need to ask a question.
Over there.
There's
I'll
no
answer
more
your question.
slavery or involuntary servitude, correct?
Go over there and I'll answer your
Well,
question.
there's no more. Okay, but there's
Over
no.
there, I'll answer your question.
But there's no more slavery or involuntary
Sir,
servitude,
go
correct?
over there. I will answer your question.
It sounds to me like you're treating me like a slave.
Sir, over there.
So are you you're breaking the law, I think.
Okay. I'm asking you nicely.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a lawful order.
I'm asking. That's
You
not a
need to
lawful
stay
order.
over there.
Is that a
You're
code or the
interfering.
law? Is that a
It's
code
an
or a law?
ordinance of the city of Greeley.
That's not a law.
You need. Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's only a law if I'm in contract with you, and that's the
You're in
reason
contact
why.
with me. Sir, I'm asking you
Contract.
politely and
Contract.
nicely.
No, you're not.
Stay over there.
You're actually
while
raising
the
your
two of
voice,
us
and you're actually.
are conducting our business.
Yeah, but you're not being nice.
Sir, stay over there. I'm being very nice right
Well,
now.
there's no more slavery or involuntary servitude. How can you tell me to go over there?
I'm a police officer. This is the city of Greeley. You're interfering
I know,
with what
but-
we're doing.
but-
If you don't want to get arrested,
But the topic here is
if
the law.
you do not wish to get arrested
The
for
topic
failure
here-
to obey a lawful order,
That's not a lawful order if I'm
Sir.
not in contract, to my understanding.
you're in contact.
Okay.
Stand over
I'll
there,
stand over
or
there,
you're going to
sir.
go to jail.
I'll stand over there.
Thank you. Go
but
now,
you're going to
please.
have to answer my questions, okay? Because that's only courteous.
So is this your camper?
No. No, he's my neighbor. I don't know who he is,
Well,
but
this
you
is an
know.
investigation with her tagging the
Yeah.
camper as abandoned. So if you don't have any reason for being here,
Well, I actually.
you need to get away from the scene.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
may I ask
Is
if
that
I
fair
do?
enough?
Okay. Well, may I ask if I do have legitimate reason to be
You
here?
don't. It's not your camper.
Okay. Well, why?
She's doing her business.
Okay.
You
Well.
need to give us space while she does that.
All right. Well, Thomas
make sense?
Paine. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense to you, but I have a question. Thomas Paine said the duty of a patriot is to protect his country from his government. You know, your guys' money system has made us homeless and hard to live. Now, this guy here, I don't know who he is, but he's probably having a hard time because your government is not allowing enough money in the economy for us to work. So, and if we become homeless, you guys arrest us for it. You
You know
guys
what?
arrested me for it.
You're making way more of a big deal about it.
No, I'm
She's
actually.
tagging a camper as abandoned.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
all there is to it.
Okay.
To it.
Well, that's
Okay?
fine.
You
I
just need to
appreciate
stand back a little bit, okay?
I appreciate that, sir. But you know, my goal and mission in this country is to tell the truth.
Okay. Just give us some space while she does that.
Okay. Well, I got questions
Thank
for
you.
you guys.
Stand back over
I
there.
want you guys to answer my questions. Lord God, I just pray that you bless my time here. I'm trying very hard to be civil, and I'm trying very hard to bring the truth out and to make these guys aware, not only these guys, but to bring fear to these people that they're actually operating illegitimately.
Hey, hang on.
They have no lawful authority here at all over anybody.
Yeah, you had a question. I said I would answer your question.
All right, thank you,
What is
sir.
your question?
What is your name?
It's Officer Anderson.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Brothwell. You guys might know me by now.
Okay. I don't.
Okay.
All right, so what's your question, Mr. Brothwell? Brothwell, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
Why didn't you guys teach us about the birth certificate and social security card?
I will answer any question you have about the Colorado Revised Statute. Past that, I will not answer any questions because I don't have any expertise in that. Colorado Revised Statute, I will answer any question you have concerning that.
Statutes aren't law.
I will answer any question
Okay.
concerning Colorado
Well, I'm going
Revised
to make
Statute.
you aware that statutes are not law unless you're in contract. And you don't have lawful authority. If I'm not in contract with you, you have no lawful authority over me.
You can tell me anything that you want, but I will only answer questions concerning Colorado Revised Statute.
Right. Well, I'm going to
Title
make...
18 specifically.
Yeah, well, Title 18 has no authority over a person not in commerce or contract with you. And if you try to force...
Stay over here, sir, while I talk to these officers.
Okay, well, I got another statement to make. See how these guys are? They just think, oh, well, I'm going to try to be nice.
What's your statement, sir?
My statement is that when we are not in commerce with you, which means
What does
sexual
commerce mean, sir?
sexual intercourse, social
what commerce means?
Yes, look it up in a dictionary. I've done a lot of research.
Wow.
And if you try to force your will upon me without my consent, you're raping me. And you know what? These people that you say you have authority over, you don't have lawful authority because you didn't tell them the details.
Trust me, Mr. Brothwell, I will not be raping you.
Yeah. Well, if you try to force commerce and you try to tell me what to do according to your codes, then you're forcing commerce. That's sexual intercourse and that's rape.
Let's get out of the road. I don't want to get hit by a car.
You don't like to have 10 big guys force their will upon you, would you?
Okay, remember
With
what
guns?
I said. I was only going to answer questions advised Colorado Revised Statute.
So-
nothing other than that.
So actually, well, that's outside of the realm of America. Did you know you become a United States citizen when you have a
Remember,
birth certificate?
will not answer
and
any
you
questions
interrupted
unless
me.
Involving the CRS.
Yeah, you interrupted
Title
me.
18 specifically.
Well, you guys have given up your American status and your freedom through the birth certificate. Okay? That's what you guys did. You guys entered into commerce, which means sexual intercourse, because the Bible says, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication. You guys are having sexual intercourse with this bank.
Here's the situation.
With this banking,
You
don't
were
interrupt me,
You were
sir.
physically
Don't
obstructing my
interrupt
parking
me.
enforcement
Please don't
officer
interrupt me.
for approximately 5 minutes.
You guys were.
You are under arrest for obstructing a public official.
You guys kind of. You guys are
Yes, you
forcing
are
me to
under
look-
arrest.
For what?
Obstruction.